avoid bloodshed and war, let Igbo have Biafra Republic. CNG begs Northern leaders. The coalition of Northern Group, CNG, has called on the Northern leaders to let the Igbos have their Biafra Republic in order to avert another civil war and bloodshed in the country. This was, as it said, with the level of anger elicited by the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and its sponsors at home and in the diaspora as we reached the inevitable point where the Igbo must be separated from the nation. The Chairman Board of Trustees of CNG, Nastura Sharif, stated this in a 7-page letter titled Alert on the Unfolding Scenario for Destabilization of Nigeria and addressed to head of Northern leaders. We address this letter to you with a deep sense of patriotism and conscience and concern for a strong and prosperous northern regions in the context of the current Nigerian nation, with respect to both historical and current trends and underlying character of the Igbo people of the Southeast. We address you, sir, consciously. We believe that as a critical stakeholder in the affairs of the northern society, then you will accept and treat this as a warning from history which repeats itself according to Karl Marx, once as a phase and twice as its strategy. Lesson of the history. It is instructive to recount that the Igbo have benefited more than any other tribe in terms of economic monopoly and are the most accommodated and tolerated of all the ethnic groups in Nigeria, despite their territories for disregard to every rule of tendency and etiquette globally. They have persisted in spiteful and vile threats on the whole nation as a catalyst for the kind of violence that the country faced in 1966 following the first ever military insurance by their kids, setting the protocol for the unfolding agenda. The 1966 copists decapitated the Prime Minister and the political leadership of the northern and southwestern region, leaving the zenith of Igbo leadership at the federal level and the eastern region intact. Since that time, the Igbo have continued to intermittently stunt and rebel against the Nigerian state, demanding to succeed and form an independent country called Biafran, which was among the key elements that culminated in civil war of 1967 to 1970 that resulted in colossal death and destruction. 2. Resurgence. Decade after, Nigeria is again witnessing the resurgence of separating agitations, especially by the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and its Inc., as strategies employed to achieve the results that the copists of the First Republic faced and failed to realize. The scene began with regrouping of Igbo to launch a brazen, though relatively distant campaign for Biafran under the movement of MASO, the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra. This was eventually hijacked by another rugged group called the IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu, whose violent campaign went beyond public lectures to the spread of xenophobic, hateful war messages targeting the Nigerian state and other non-Igbo ethnic groups. Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB activities grew exponentially, ranging from ordering people of other regions out of the southeast, particularly northerners, to open declaration of amazing of arms to fight Nigerians. As these dangerous contours began to spiral with repeated calls to harm by the IPOB leader, the CNG in 2017 took the bold and necessary step to issue a quit notice in the famous Kaduna Declaration and followed up with series of communications to then acting President Yemi Osinbajo, the Secretary General of the United Nations, and all major foreign diplomatic missions represented in Nigeria, in which we drew attention to the emerging trend in the country that were pregnant with complications and unforeseen consequences. Those truly patriotic representations by the CNG aimed to participate and foretell the current drifts towards anarchy and bloodshed in Nigeria, and also to alert the international community as to where responsibility would ultimately lie if such momentous and terrible events ever came to pass. In 2017, on almost a daily basis, IPOB and ESN have coordinated violent attack, indiscriminate killings and destruction of properties of these northerners, and continued unseasoning in almost all southeast states and some south-south community. So the threat grew. It grew more essential with relations of caches of arms meant for Boko Haram insurgents, routine struggle, smuggling into the country and intercepted by Nigerian authority, traced to Igbo merchants. Evidence also abound of how IPOB incitement to mass atrocities and possible genocide against the North, and also outright rebellion to the Nigerian state, manifested in the ugly incident of the EndSARS protests, resulting in attacks and killings of security personnel, non-Igbo residents in the east, and arson across western states like Lagos. 3. The North. The typology of the current disturbances spreading across all northern states, where the fusures between ethnic and religious groups, they are much more accentuated, suggest a wider plot to cause greater international instability by first demolishing the northern economic, political, and educational valuability. Thank you, viewers, for listening to this news. Please don't hesitate to drop your comments and let us discuss about this, and let us give our advice and your opinion under the comment box. Thank you.